Hello and welcome to the D&D Capital Prop Trading Podcast, where we just talk about all of things prop trading and discuss trading in general and just float loads of ideas. Today's discussion, I am with Ricki, James, Felicia, and we will be talking about how we got the company started, what we did, how this all kicked off, all of this madness, and where we're looking to go from here. So, James, how are you doing?
Not so bad. Lots of travel this morning, but glad to be here.
Stuck on a train? How are you
Stuck
feeling
on
now?
a train. Refreshed now.
Yeah, I mean, for context, we've recently had storms. What's Wales looking like at the moment?
It's underwater.
Is
Lots of it is underwater. So yeah, really difficult to travel at the moment. But
yeah, my driving
here.
through the train station, it's like one of those things where, you get like a really awkward flood and like, am I going to make it through it? And you're like testing the car to see how we get on. So
Yeah.
I had one of those situations. Luckily, I didn't know no water came through the doors. I survived it.
It wasn't that deep, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was close to touch and go. Yeah, Rick, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good to be here.
Good, Felicia.
Yeah, good.
All right, you ready for this madness?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, you don't all look too sure. Look at you, like bloody rabbits caught in headlights here.
Jenny's texting me, that's fine.
All right, back to business. So let's see. So the way we started the company. So myself, Ocean Dance, who isn't with us at the moment, and James North. So we started trading together. We put a little Zoom room together. We used to work together in a previous company in a previous life. And how did it start, James?
Well, we started it a couple of years ago now, didn't it? After we met Adam at a show.
Yep.
Where you and I were arguing about the same trade, I think it was.
Yep. Shout out to Zimtra.
Zimtra, yeah, and yeah, it just generally went from there. It was we went out for a beer in that night, and chatted, and yeah, we just started off small and grew it from there.
So looking back at that night, did you think it would have got to where it got to?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because 90% of the people at that show were crazy anyway.
Yeah.
But Adam was just one.
You're allowed to swear. You're about to say bullshit, as weren't you?
Yeah. But there was a lot of bullshit that went on in that show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, you and I were arguing. I think I could still remember the trade. It was the Dow Jones in the afternoon.
Yeah.
One of us was going long and one of us was going short. We both won the trades.
Yeah.
And he left us arguing. He didn't like the trade, I don't think. I think he just enjoyed us arguing.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't bothered. So the interesting thing about that is when he first turned up and we had the initial meeting, he said to me that they tried to fund 5 other prop trading companies in Europe. So they're US asset manager trying to find traders in Europe. And he said he failed with 5 traders. And then he told me the amount of money he gave those traders and stuff. And I was like, well, why are you giving us less? That was how it started.
But that's what we needed, wasn't it? We just needed to prove to him that we were we could do what we said we could do.
Yeah.
And we proved it.
Yeah, 100%. So the funny thing about the way we actually started trading was the Zoom room that me, you, and Ocean were in. So obviously Ocean is based in Ireland.
Yeah.
James is in Wales, and I'm in closer to London. I'm down south of the UK. So obviously we can't meet in a physical location all of the time. So the Zoom room was hilarious. So what were your takes on that? How did you find that?
That Zoom room was hard work sometimes.
Yeah.
But every day we found ourselves picking exactly the same trade, going in at the same time, coming out at roughly the same time. It was an experience, that Zoom room.
Yeah, I think it was easier for you because you were a scalper anyway when you were trading.
It was a lot easier for me.
Yeah,
trying to teach you how to go from swing trading to scalping.
Yeah,
it was hard work, but we all took our lunchtimes together and we just built it from there.
Yeah,
I mean we started off with $5,000, was it?
Well, so the account size was 25k at the beginning, the first account.
Yeah.
And we had $5,000 risk on that money. Yeah, so we could only lose 5k on that account.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you remember the scores? No, I remember. Yeah, so we first of all started doing roughly $300 a week.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to write home about, but it was after the size of accounts, it was okay.
And then week 4, we were bumped up to 50k.
Yeah. And
then we started doing $700 to $900 a week.
Yep.
On that, and then we were bumped up to 100k.
Yeah.
Do you remember the numbers on 100k?
We got to about $2,000.
Yeah, so 1,700 on average.
Yep.
Obviously, we had some losing weeks and stuff. But
Yeah, blame you for that though.
yeah, well, whatever. The average was about $1,700 over that time. So, and then the scaling process, for those of you who don't know, for us and how it works, is for every $1,000 you make, you get an extra $10,000 in capital. So every time we scaled up, so like from the 25K, taking that to 30K, we then off the 5K got another 50K. So that's how we got up to the 50 and so on, and the 75, and then the 100K, so on and so forth. So we were just incrementally scaling up until really casino money hit. So how long would you say that was when we got to the point where we thought, okay, well, we've now got enough of a cushion?
It was only 6 months. I think it was just shy of 6 months.
Yeah.
But we were in a great position at that time.
Yeah.
Really good position.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, we were definitely getting to the point of $1 million, you know, by the time when the company was first registered.
Yeah.
So if I'm right, I'd probably say it was, yeah, it was hard. I think we were saying in April or May or something around that time, like coming up to a couple of years ago now. But
yeah, I think it was around April, I think.
yeah,
and yeah, when we registered the company.
yeah.
Yeah, it must have been April.
Yeah. Then we hit the rocky patch. So I left the company that we were working at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously we had to work out who was getting control of the business and where all the funds were going to go and whatever. So, you know, what you were very charitable and nice at that time. So how did we decide that?
Well, I gave you the company, didn't I?
He says with an evil laugh.
We didn't have much of a choice because we still wanted to look after people that you used to look after in a previous company.
Yeah.
I always knew we'd work together again at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be this soon because I'd retired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we did the right thing at the time.
Yeah.
You went, took the company and just built it because you had more time, a lot more time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you did okay. I suppose.
Whatever. So we were, but also we were responsible for the money, like for the money that we made. So we had to, we couldn't just stop.
We couldn't just stop.
No, that was a big thing for me.
There was no way we could just stop that company.
Somebody showed a bit of faith in us, and then we had to
exactly that.
We had to keep going. So yeah, the first, I would say, person that then came on board was you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we obviously had the infrastructure of the company and having to be registered on the US exchange and all of this kind of stuff. But how did it feel walking into that situation?
I just felt there's too many men in this room. You need some female energy here.
Yeah,
definitely. And I love bothering you guys. So I felt it was an opportunity here.
No, so now we're kind of really close to being 50-50 in terms of male traders and female traders.
Yeah.
We've got loads and loads of female traders on our books.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And it's hard to say whether that would have happened, you know, with or without you. But I think you're definitely a driving force for the female energy in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. We were having this conversation with you yesterday.
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were talking about like the female traders and the male traders, and I look at the patterns of the trading behavior a lot, and there is a difference.
Oh yeah,
there's a stark difference.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah, so that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a good thing to have that balance. So yeah, and then what about in terms of having to change the trading style that you were trading with, and having to gain that consistency, and also ditching all the indicators and all of that? How did you find that?
Oh, it's so much better. I put way too much trust into indicators, and there's 100 indicators. Some of them work some of the time, and the way you're doing it now, when it's just the charts and your knowledge, it gives you more consistency.
Yeah,
I like that much more.
Yeah,
there's always an indicator to tell you why you should go in, and always an exact opposite.
Yeah.
The indicators tell you what's happened in the past generally.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then after that, obviously Rick came on board. You know, we needed more help. Company was growing. What about you? Your first step in, how did you find that?
It was quite scary, actually.
Yeah.
Completely out of my comfort zone in terms of just not having any indicators and just using naked charts and price action. It was a learning curve, definitely. You actually realize how much you actually don't know about trading, and how much you actually relied on indicators. Yeah. It's just like starting all over again, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to hear you describe it as being scary, but I probably I can see that. I think I always say to James, you know, like moving from like Pro Real Time to TradingView, CQG, you know, Sterling Trader, all of this stuff, right? So obviously I grew up in the technological era of trading. All of these systems changed so much throughout that period of time. When you're in it, like with Pro Real Time or something, when they adapt some things, they change the market watch or they change the screeners or something like that, you're growing with the platform. You know what I mean? So you don't notice it that much. But with TradingView or like, you know, with TT or CQG or something like that, the differences were stock. So having to change platform, people really struggle with that.
I struggled with that a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
And it was literally because Pro Real Time, I learned on Pro Real Time, and everything was second nature.
Yeah.
But when I turned to TradingView, I was looking for features that should be a 1 second flip, and I just couldn't find them.
Yeah.
And I still struggle every now and again now.
Yeah,
but of course they give you real facts and figures.
Yeah.
Whereas Pro Real Time is through IG brokers figures.
Yeah, I think that was a big change for a lot of people, like exchange traded prices and trading on an exchange versus trading through, you know, a market maker like IG or whatever, you know, was a huge change for everyone. Like, what did you think? Did you know that they weren't real prices and stuff, that the market makers were, you know, IG and all the other trading 212? Did you know that? No?
Nope. This is where my knowledge is very limited.
Yeah.
I just did what I was told.
Yeah.
Basically. And when we started moving over to TradingView, that's basically when I realized that, you know, you have different prices from different brokers and they offer different kind of, but I do enjoy TradingView. Yeah, it takes time, obviously, like as anything new, you give it a bit of time and you're going to learn.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what about you, Rick? Did you know?
No, I didn't actually. Same as Felicia, really. You're doing a course, you follow it verbatim, you expect it to kind of be that way, but then there's a whole nother side to it and you don't realize that.
Yeah, because that's why, like, these funded account providers that we first came with. So obviously we can talk about them now, like the My Forex funds, the Surge Traders, and all of that kind of stuff. Like from my perspective, when that was happening, of course I had accounts there, especially with the My Forex funds. To know that nothing really was real behind it. I think our ethos was, let's just carry on until we stop getting paid out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, 31st of August last year.
Yeah.
I remember the phone call from you.
Yeah.
I remember phone calls all night that night.
Yeah, it was mad.
I mean,
wasn't it?
I lost 1.1 million worth of funding.
Yeah.
You lost about the same, roughly.
Yeah.
You weren't far off.
Yeah, it was about 800 grand, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Between it, yeah, you know, and we were paying our mortgages and stuff from that, you know.
And we had Ross as well, 1.2 million, I think, something like that.
He was up that high, was he?
Yeah.
I think he was about 800,000, about the same as you, but with 4 challenges on it. As well. So
yeah. So I think that was the ethos into just trading the DND Capital prop fund by ourselves to creating the DND Capital prop trading fund was
real money.
Was such a big difference. So like the way that we structured it, I think because we were in casino money, it was much easier. So like when a new trader came on board, if they came with like £2,000 to trade them up to £20,000 was much easier for us to do because we were trusted with the capital.
Of course.
I think the hard part is training the traders to the point where we can just leave them with capital alone, like in Felicia's case, you know, now. Yeah. You know, there's a trust factor involved, isn't there?
Of course there's a trust factor involved. But they've got to really go through all the heartache of learning to trade or relearning how to trade. And trade properly with fantastic risk management. Because it can bite, can't it? If you haven't got risk management and control of yourself, it will bite you.
And then digging deeper into that side of things, I think with My Forex funds, Surge Trader, and all of that, so there was a spread involved, which is one thing, which was variable as well. And then there was a commission involved at the same time in those guys, right? So what I was finding myself is that every time I was earning £4,000, I was taking 2 out, right? That was my philosophy at the time. But then when I was looking at the statements, the spread was obviously changing all the time anyway, but the commissions were changing it all the time. But then to find out that none of it was real and they were in charge of the commissions and stuff, that just killed it for me.
Of course.
I was like, so really, if anybody's profitable there, they've got an extra bit where they can squeeze you every single time because of simulated funds. So now, obviously, with the way that we did it, like we're not in control of that because we trade on the stock exchanges, right? So now, when we're in a position, one, we have no spread anyway, right? So buying and selling, you're in profit straight away when you take a trade. The second thing is that we have to pay the licensing fees, obviously, to the SEC, ECN fees, and all that kind of stuff. But that's regulated by them. We have no.
There's no control over that. That's,
if it goes up for us, it goes up for everyone. You know what I mean? So that was an interesting learning curve, because I think the prices went up once or twice with us, but they were very marginal.
Something like one of the price increases was 3 cents or something.
Yeah, 3 cents a trade.
Is absolutely nothing, and I'm quite willing to pay that when we're in, tens of thousands of pounds worth of stocks.
Yeah. So then you came on board then finally, like way after, I can't even remember how long it was after we had all these other traders like, Felicia, Rick, Mayan and all this kind of stuff a little bit later on.
Well, so. you and I couldn't talk for a little while, could we?
No.
So
it was the most peaceful time of my life.
For me too, actually, but so yeah, I'd actually retired. I didn't want it anymore. I was finding myself, I was very, very, very busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to go on holiday and do this and that and the other, and did a few.
Yeah, you went to Mexico, didn't you?
No, that was the year before.
Was it?
So, yeah, I was going to go to Australia and mess about, but because my aunt just died over there, but and my mother wants to go.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, for my mum, she either had a new car or went to Australia for a fortnight, or well, I think we were going for 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But she wanted a new car in the end because the family can come and see her over here,
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'd retired, and then we had a conversation, and yeah.
Was it a FOMO trade?
It was a lot of FOMO.
Yeah.
But it wasn't you that brought me. It was Rick, really. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
It was all of you. I mean, the gang's back together, and so great team. Yeah, great team.
Yeah,
doing the
I think
right
that's what
things.
it's all about. It's the family back together again.
Yeah.
And doing it correctly. Not relying on systems that are outdated and are not going to work for you, that don't take things into consideration.
Yeah.
Learning how to trade properly with an amazing community, because not just traders, we've got some, we've got an amazing community of traders, and they're brilliant.
Yeah, I think obviously, like the brand new people, like the Judds of this world, and like a few of the other traders, for them even to step into this space, and like obviously us guys, we know each other so well, and then to learn about how we trade and how this works. I think the feedback that I've had from them has been interesting. They're like couldn't believe a company like this existed.
But they're looking for one thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just looking for one signal. There's no point having 15, 20, 30 different signals.
Yeah.
Because you'll confuse yourself. So look for one strategy, do one thing and do it superbly well.
Yeah.
Make your money in, I don't know, 7 minutes, half an hour, 3 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
And then go and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
So they're learning how to do it right in the first place.
Exactly that.
So the younger traders like Judd and Cade and most of the traders, they're just amazing.
Yeah, it's funny when they come in with no bad habits.
It is.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah. Rather than someone coming in with they've been trading somewhere else for a period of time.
Yeah.
No matter where that somewhere else is.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have some bad habits, or they're going to rely on a system too much.
Yeah.
This is just, for me, it's price action.
Yeah.
Okay, I brought the wizard with me. I brought my trading style with me.
Mm-hmm.
But trade it or don't.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's there to guide you, but it's all price action.
And there's a lot you have to unlearn, isn't there?
There's a lot you've got to unlearn, and you've got to stop thinking about, like you said earlier on, indicators that tell you what's happened in the past.
Yeah.
And yes, they'll all work at a certain part of the time with the market, but you've got to know the market flow for that.
Yeah. So in terms of then, like, like where we're sitting now in terms of how you came back on board, and we did get the family back together and the team back together again. Like, how are you feeling about the space that we're currently in?
Trying to look after you, lot. Flipping heck, come on, guys.
Who's the worst one?
I'm not going to answer that. I have no need at all to answer that.
I was trying to stitch you up there.
We'll go and have another drink later.
Didn't fall for the bait.
No, not this one.
It's definitely her, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. No, I kind of think like looking at the traders, because that was never the intention when me, you, and Oshan started trading.
No, the intention was literally, let's see how we can grow this account.
Yeah.
And suddenly when that became a huge account, and it did quite quickly, I know myself as a trader, I cannot, especially on the quick trades I do, I can't press the button on £1 million stop loss. Absolutely no way. It's just not me. But we quickly worked out that 300 traders between all of us, we could hedge slightly, and they wouldn't all take the same trade, but they could press the button.
Yeah.
10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand.
Yeah.
I haven't got a problem on pressing the button on. £1 million? I start to twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think when we ran the numbers, I think just generally chatting to Adam and stuff in terms of like the larger prop trading fund style of things, the swing of 10 million a day being up and down on that, that's huge, isn't it?
But that's more that working out 10 million, that's more than all our houses, all our cars, everything put together.
Yeah, you do feel responsible. I think
do.
With the automated risk management system, that obviously the introduction of that made life much easier. Of course. So like now, for those of you who don't know, we get a daily stop limit for every single trader and an account stop limit for every single account. So that's that makes life so much easier when I'm going through all of the statements and stuff. Yeah.
And it keeps people, because people are still thinking, they've got that in the back of their mind, they know exactly what they can and can't do. So there's strict rules there. Because if they go above their, whatever it is a day, £1,000 loss or £100 loss, whatever they might be on, they know that they've got to do something. They've got to call one of us or speak to one of us in the chat room and say, oh, look, guys, I buggered up here. And they don't like doing it.
I get the alert first as well.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know. So we know exactly who's done it, and it does happen every now and again. Yeah. But they're very sheepish, and what you'll find is if they've done it, the next day they won't trade. Yeah. Because they don't want to say anything. Yeah. And then
what's funny about that situation is they don't know what we've done in the past. So
I know.
So
I know. Because we've made every mistake, right?
Exactly. Yes. So they'll get worried about their situation. They don't have to be half the time.
No. But they do stick to the rules, and why and we had this conversation probably 2 years ago about funded accounts. I liked funded accounts at the time because there were strict rules. If you have more than this drawdown, you've got to take a challenge again. If you do this wrong, you've got to do this again. I do like those rules because people will stick to those rules because they're hard rules. If it's your own capital, you haven't really got those rules. Correct. You can go and move your stop loss and don't care. It's not good. It's not good.
What surprised you about the whole setup, the whole situation? Was there anything that took you off guard or that surprised you about the way that the whole setup had changed and the way we adapted and evolved it?
It just feels a little bit more organized. So I definitely like doing this more than just trading by myself, my own kind of capital. I feel a little bit more responsible, a little bit more strict with my rules, all that kind of things.
That's the first time anyone has said that anything that me and James has been involved in is organised. So, so we've got it on video. Yeah.
Shout out to Amy.
Yeah.
No, I just like the way this works a bit more. This feels like how trading is supposed to be, not just funded with £200 spread that doesn't even exist and stuff like this. This is proper way of doing it.
Direct market access.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Rick? What was the surprising thing for you, or what took you off guard?
Everything, I think. it's so different. It's just having to not look at indicators and not using screens and things like that. Just looking for markets and trends and things you should know in the beginning, but you actually don't. And you literally have to start again. And it feels like the last 2 years, the things you've learned are just nothing after. And I don't know, it's just that unlearning of all the stuff and having to learn again from the beginning. And trying to understand actually what trading is, because it's not what you learned in the beginning. It's not the indicators. It's not anything like that. It's just completely different to what you knew before.
Yeah, I think when we did the live trading room and we adapted and evolved the live trading room into what it is today, I think having to post all of the trades live, I think when we were smaller, it was easier. A lot more people used to do it. Especially for me, but obviously the radical accountability that we try and put through right the way through the company, I think that's important. That's an important part of us. But I do understand how it can be intimidating for a lot of people. But we don't trade with any judgment. We don't trade.
No.
But they do for themselves.
Of course.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know anyone else who actually will have the balls to place a live trade in front of a few hundred people each day.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But you can see all my my trades live, all yours, all Ricky's, Felicia's.
Yeah. It makes me a better trader by doing that.
Why?
100%.
Why?
Because I don't want to screw up my rules in front of other people. Because then the judgment comes. But as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I know that it's a system in the long run that works, I'm not doing anything wrong, even if I lose a trade.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy to show that to people.
You're never going to win 100% of your trades.
No.
It's really impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you've got, there's a way of doing it, but you might be holding on to, with the FX in the mornings, you might be holding on to a trade for 15 years.
Yeah.
Eventually it will come back, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, I love the way the live chat rooms up and running now and how that works. The graphics and stuff that you put in, and all of that kind of stuff through NVIDIA's earnings and all of that. Yeah. That stuff's awesome. And then the way the alert system works as well when we see setups turning up. Like, when the alerts kick in, and like, for example, when you post a trades and, it does make me go and look at the chart thinking, well, yeah, James took this wizard trade, like what it's looking at.
Yeah.
Like, I like the fact that, and it's good for the new people as well that join, because if they get an understanding of how we're trading, what we're looking at, and all the trades are live.
Exactly. They know exactly, they can see exactly what we're doing, exactly when we're doing it, and why we're doing it. And we're trying to, it's not always easy, but we're trying to explain what we're doing and why as we're going through.
Yeah.
And other things, like we did the election night.
Yeah.
We worked right through, you and I, the election night. Ricki was in the background, I know. Ricki
What?
was trading. He wasn't even talking. He was just trading.
Just trading it out.
What a success that one. I was surprised. Not that I didn't think it was going to be successful, but I think as soon as we were getting the state by state kind of breakdown, and we were watching the probability come, as soon as it hit 70, then 75% of that trade seemed like the easiest trade in the world to me.
It was the easiest trade in the world.
You still got to have the balls to take it, though.
You still got to press the button.
Yeah, it was really interesting, and then the markets moved so nicely. Look at where crypto is now.
I know.
And we were talking about crypto that night, and we had no idea it was going to get to 100K.
Last Sunday we hit 100K, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's come back down a little bit. I think he's
on the
down
futures market.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think he's come down 93, 94 today. I think it was.
Yeah.
But pretty good backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.